Hello and welcome to my channel, Berryjuicysweet Dishes. And if this is your first time, then please hit that like button and also that bell right beside. And to all my returning viewers, welcome back. And to everyone, all positive vibes. Well, today I will be making a dill pickle bread. Let me show you how. Let's begin. So I'm going to take about 1.5 cup of whole dill pickles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut and dice these pickles. So I'm going to use about 1.5 cup. And so far this is 4 pickles, whole dill pickles that I cut up and sliced and diced. All right, so this made about 1.5 cups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to take about 3.5 cups of bread flour, or you can use 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So next what I'm going to do is pour my flour into the bowl, and then I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to also add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and that was 1 teaspoon. I'm going to also add 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to also add 2 teaspoons of stevia sugar. You can add whatever sweetener you like. And again, that was 2 teaspoons. So now I'm going to set this to the side and prepare my pickles. So I'm using about 1.5 cups of diced dill pickles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat this dry. And this step is so important to your bread, so your bread does not come out dense. And as you can see, the excess moisture from my pickles on my paper towel. It's very important that your pickles are patted dry. So I patted these pickles dry about 5 or 6 times to make sure I got majority of that moisture out so my bread doesn't become dense when it's cooking. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to add those finely chopped dill pickles to this dry ingredients and toss the pickles up until they are coated. So I want each pickle, all of the pickles, to be coated. And you don't have to use your hand for this step. You can use a spoon. All right. So now I'm going to set this to the side. Next, So now I'm going to mix in 1 cup of buttermilk. I'm going to also mix in 1 egg. I'm going to also add a 1/2 cup of the dill pickle juice. Next, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted. Now what I want to do is I want to whisk all of this together. So now what I want to do is I want to take my wet ingredients and mix it in with my dry ingredients until it is well combined, but I don't want to over mix it, okay? I just want to make sure that it's good and mixed. I don't want to over mix it, so I'm just making sure that it's combined. All right, that should be good enough. So now I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. So next what I'm going to do is get my baking pan ready. I'm going to grease a loaf pan. So I have my loaf pan and I'm going to grease my loaf pan with some nonstick spray. So now I'm going to place this in the oven and I'm going to bake this for about 50 to 60 minutes or until a toothpick in the center comes out clean. So once my bread is ready, so while my bread is still warm, I just wanted to take some of that butter and just spread it on the top so it can melt on the top of my bread. All right. The butter on the top is optional, and you can also use sesame seed and some fresh parsley to garnish the top of your bread. And look at how beautiful this piece of bread come out. This is going to be awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Don't forget to hit that like button and also share the video. Again, everyone, thank you for tuning in to my channel, Berryjuicysweet Dishes. Again, everyone, bye for now.